Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Top 5 Podcast, your favorite list formatted show on the internet. As always, I'm Ron McNerney, and joining me today are my best friends, Zach Blenner,
Hey, what's up, guys?
Colin Harding,
Hi ho.
and Matt Bush.
Oh,
Today's topic is all about our top 5 content creators, and kicking it off this week with their number 5 pick is Matt. Matt, what is it?
what's going on? My number five, I picked someone that I know for a fact none of you have ever heard of, and his name is Blunder.
Blunder. What does he
Um,
do?
Pokemon. That's
Pokemon.
what I know him from. I watch him for my Pokemon content. There's like a whole sort of network of people who play on Showdown that I watch sometimes. Not as much anymore because I don't play as often, but I still check like their videos from time to time if they got some cool stuff going on. I watched a lot more when I guess we're on Gen 8 now. Yeah, when Gen 8 came out and I started to play more, I got back in, but it's like one of those ones like a lot of the people like I used to watch sort of fell out and that didn't make my cut. Like I don't watch any like the Vanos crew anymore or like all
Yeah.
like the vintage pod people who played during like Black Ops Modern Warfare 3. Like all those people I haven't watched in years, but this guy I usually check back on because it's he sort of has like that Vanos type energy for some of his videos where he gets a whole bunch of people in and
Mhm.
they just mess with each other. Like since Showdown is basically like a shitty program, you're able to make an account, right? And then multiple people can be logged onto the same account, but it's not able to like detect that there's multiple people logged on. So, Ron, if you're logged into my account at the same time I am, and I'm in the middle of a battle, you get all the prompts that I would have. So everyone's able to click on on like the moves and stuff that you can do.
Okay.
So they'll just get in a call and like mess with each other and run like shitty teams and try to win. And it's just always like pretty hectic and fun energy that they got going on.
Do they do Nuzlocke challenges and stuff too?
No, they only play Showdown.
Got it. Never branch off too much.
Yeah, I mean, well, he doesn't like playing the main game, so he doesn't really play it. Some of the other people I watch do Nuzlocke sometimes, but I feel like I have to like be wanting to subscribe to a Nuzlocke because that
It's
can
a
eat up
lot.
like
It's a
5 to 8
commitment.
hours of my time if I want
Yeah.
to watch a playthrough. So I usually don't watch those. There's this one guy that I watch from time to time. He does like weekly challenges where he's like, I'm gonna beat Fire Red, but with only an Eevee or something. And
Hmm.
I'll watch those because he takes a whole run that takes him a week and edits it down to like 15-20 minutes. Like that to me is manageable, but I'm not gonna watch
Yeah.
a whole run. Fuck that. No.
Does he stream or just do YouTube or both?
He streams, but I've said in the past that I don't really watch Twitch,
Hmm.
mostly because I can't watch Twitch and have a day job, and then if I'm not at work, I'm not trying to sit around and watch Twitch all day.
That's fair. It can consume so much of your time if you watch
Yeah,
Twitch.
most of the people, or not most, all of the people I listed are from YouTube. None of mine are from Twitch.
Can you have it? I don't know how iOS will work, but can you play it in the background? Because like on
Yeah, you could
Android,
do
I
that.
can just throw it on and
I mean, I
listen to it.
can, but I don't really. I'd rather listen to music or a podcast.
I think the part of it is just actually being able to just watch it more
Because
than
I
listen
want to
to it.
watch
Oh
him
yeah.
play the game.
Yeah.
Like the only time I do that is with like um Hungry Box when he streams
I haven't
Ultimate or
watched Hungry
Melee.
Box in a while.
I put Hungry Box on when we play Overwatch so I can watch him in between games that we're playing sometimes.
Hmm.
Because he puts on a great stream, but again the issue is that I don't. If I have the time to watch Twitch, that's like the last thing I want to be doing.
Right. There's other shows or something you want to watch instead.
Yeah, like I'd rather like watch Attack on Titan that I'm just recently getting into, or rewatch
Yeah.
Always Sunny, or even go out to the gym and or just do chores around the house. Like
Yeah.
I feel so unproductive when I watch Twitch.
No,
I
you
feel
really
like for
do.
me, Twitch is like such a mixed bag. Like you never know what you're gonna get. You know what I mean?
Depends on the
Like
Yeah,
you could
streamer.
sit there for an hour and like not be entertained at all, but you just lost an hour. Whereas like if you watch an hour long YouTube video, it's usually cut to be the most entertaining things that happened in the entirety of the Twitch stream.
Yeah.
That's what I've kind of noticed.
Well, Matt, anything else to say about your number 5?
Not really.
Go subscribe. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, subscribe to Blunder.
Yeah, no paid promotion here. I'm sure a lot of the people we say probably don't need it, but yeah, we'll go for it. Colin, let me hear your number 5.
My famous Pravase. I kind of left out like some of the obvious ones because I wanted to focus on the ones that people probably didn't know about. So like I left out like Joe Rogan because I'm sure we're gonna hear it from everybody. I left out like, I left out the big ones, except for one. But I know nobody here really listens to them, so it's all right.
Joe Rogan didn't make my list, and
Yeah,
my
he didn't
thought
make
process
mine.
was that I don't listen to the show for Joe Rogan. I listen because I like the guest.
Well, yeah, but
I
he's
don't- I
creating the
don't get
content to get
excited.
the guest.
Yeah, but I don't get excited for Joe Rogan's part because, like, if I wanted to list, like, Joe Rogan says the same shit every time, right? He just starts riffing about fights and
An elk.
CBD and elk and hunting and like how much he hates California. Like, I can get that on every show, but I know I recently watched. He had Maddie Matheson on, he's like an internet chef personality, and I was like really excited to listen to him because he has a lot of really cool zany stuff to say. But like when Joe Rogan, not that he's even like unentertaining, but he just says the same stuff over and over again. And like if the guest wasn't fun, I wouldn't listen.
Well, Colin, what's your number 5?
So my number 5 is Jane from the Overwatch community.
Which one is Jane?
Jane is the old Dallas Fuel coach.
Okay.
He was one of the assistant coaches. I think Jane's just real with it. Like he doesn't hold like he doesn't try to flame anybody, but at the same time he doesn't care about your emotions if like, you're clearly like making excuses or something. Like he just straight up tells you what you're supposed to be doing and he says it how it is. And that's
Like,
what I
leaves it
like
at
about
that.
him. Yeah, like he just says it how it is and he leaves it on the table. And like it's up to you to figure out if like you're just going to stop listening to him or not. And he has so much going on that like just by watching him, he just says things that you sit there and you go, "Oh, like I like the way that he worded that," or "I like the way that he's doing this," or "I like how there's somebody in the community that is coaching people in a way that isn't just flaming them." Because so many people that I watch, and I get that it gets views and stuff and that's like the whole point, but so many of them are they go to review and they're either totally silent and they just say like, "Okay, you just need to do this," and it's like that's not really like coaching. Like you're just kind of like having us watch a video at this point and you say a few words. But so many of them will just go into the coaching and they'll be like, "All right," and it's a VOD for all the people. Like this is a pre-recorded thing that they're watching, and they'll say, "Okay, don't throw your Ononade into that shield," and then they'll throw their Ononade into the shield, and they're like, "What did I say?" And it's like it's pre-recorded, dude. And then, as soon as they come back, they'll throw their Ononade right into the shield again, and they're like, "Oh my god, what did I tell you?" And it's like they kind of just flame them instead of like actually giving good advice. And Jane's like the only person that genuinely gives good advice. So I like just watching him and supporting him because he's like a genuine person in the community. He doesn't just like report the news and then flame people.
And he was an old coach too. Is he? He's not a coach anymore for Fuel.
No,
Easy.
he
Okay.
left Fuel because there was a bunch of conflicting issues and he was just
Bunch of
tired of
boo
all the
hockey.
stress. Yeah, I mean it was towards the time where most people were leaving anyways, so
Understandable. Yeah, I think I recall something about that, but I think, as you said, there was like a whole bunch of people leaving and stuff that, it's kind of hard to keep track. But good number 5 pick, Colin. To move on to my number 5 pick. I haven't watched him in a while, but it's just more of like looking back on like the good times and stuff on YouTube that I've had. My number 5 pick is Fitz. Not really so much like the whole crew, like Swagger and them. Granted, like, they make the videos what they are, but their individual channels I'm not as big of a fan of besides Fitz. I just think the editing is honestly the best part of it, and I think he does a really good job at actually getting the best moments, whereas the rest of them, for the most part, there are funny clips, but they're not like the knee slapping roll on the floor jokes that like Fitz manages to put in his videos. That's mainly because he only uploads like once or twice a month. I think he's only uploaded once this year so far. It's May 4th. So happy Star Wars Day, by the way. But yeah, I don't know. I really love the editing that he brings. And that's why I put him as my number 5. Zach, who is your number 5?
Okay, so here's the thing about numbers and fives and all that. So for those of you who do not know, I do not watch content creators with any regularity. So this is a list of people who I have watched in the past, or people that I will see that I just enjoy to see, or if I passively come by them. I haven't actively sought any of these people out in a long time or at all, ever. So mine are in no specific order. So then, Ron, to kind of go off yours, I just have the Misfits. There was a period 2 years ago that I started listening to the Misfits podcast. I watched like a lot of Swagger Souls videos and Fits and things like that. Yeah, they seem like a lot of their stuff is like just dumb and funny. They were our age too, so it was cool to see people our age doing things we wish we could do. But yeah, Misfits. If you haven't seen them, you probably have if you're listening to this podcast. If I'm being honest, but yeah, that's it. Misfits.
No, I like their podcast a lot. I haven't listened to it in a while, but they're getting pretty big on Spotify because they have the exclusive. I believe it's an exclusive deal with them, which is pretty cool.
I bet they are. Yeah, I was with it for a while. Like I like got caught up and then I fell behind, and now I'm hundreds of
Probably
at least
hundreds.
100 episodes
Yeah.
behind. So
Yeah, it's a quality podcast. Recommend it. But Zach, anything else to say about the Misfits?
no, man, that's it.
Matt, we're bringing it back to you for your number 4 pick.
My number 4 is a fan favorite among our Discord call.
Thought you were about to say fan fiction.
And my number 4 is Mr. Gus Johnson.
Oh, Matt, my number 4 is Gus Johnson.
Is it? I love Gus, dude.
Oh my God, Gus Johnson and his brother are just absolutely hilarious.
All right, well, Matt
Now,
could start and
for,
tell us why, and then we'll go to
Like for the
Colin.
reference of my list, like my number 5 Blunder, like I don't watch him that often, but I will seek him out sometimes. But my 4 through 1, if they upload, I will watch.
Okay.
That's like where I'm at. And Gus, Gus's personality is just
Top.
It's something special, man. Like
It really is.
Gus, he does like a lot of sketches, like shorthand sketches, and some like longer form videos.
Well, he's writing
That's
for
like,
SNL now.
is he? I know he had like some Comedy Central stuff that he was doing.
That's what I
So
meant.
I
I don't
didn't
know
know-
why I said SNL. Yeah, he's doing Comedy Central.
Which
is
writing for SNL
huge.
is a pretty big name too. He could write for SNL. He'd
Comedy
actually-
Central is
easily
actually
could
funny,
write.
Colin. SNL is not funny.
But he could easily write for SNL because that's like all he does is skit. So like he
Trevor
could do it.
Wallace was on Comedy Central a little bit ago.
I'm not
He did a couple
surprised.
skits for them.
Trevor Wallace is amazing.
But-
Who's Mr. Gus?
What do you say, Zach?
Who's this man? What does he
The
do?
guy that we keep putting in the
He
chat.
does, he does like sketch comedy like Trevor does. There's like a whole crew of them who like do
Yeah.
a bunch of sketches. It's like
Okay.
well, Gus,
I
I don't know if Gus doesn't usually operate with them. I think because he doesn't live in that area. He might though. I honestly don't know. It's like Gus, my number 3, who I'll talk about later. Trevor, like Ryan the leader,
Slappers only.
Sir Spence, like a whole bunch of those people.
Yeah.
They
Gotcha.
just do a
Then
bunch
he
of
has-
sketches.
It's usually Gus and his brother though.
Yeah,
like-
and what's the dude Eddie like
Eddie
Burbank?
Burback.
Yeah, he's really funny too. I
Yeah,
like
he's
him.
funny. Their podcast is great. Gus and Eddie podcast. They're
I've
they're just
listened to a
funny.
couple.
Have you listened to Trevor Wallace's podcast, Matt? Stiff Socks?
I listened to the one episode because they had the porn star guest on it. and they had a lot of interesting things to say, but their titles are just too wild for me. Like I'm like I don't know if I'm really in the mood to listen to this right now.
I understand. I mean, the podcast name itself is pretty like
I mean it's a
you're
good
kind
it's
of
a
getting
good
yourself
name.
into some.
But
Yeah, well, Colin,
Gus makes
tell
really
us.
funny sketches. Well, no, my favorites. If you're gonna watch Gus, my favorite sketches of his are the Mbiamba Jones's videos.
Oh my god, MBM Jones is
I
so
actually
good.
haven't seen it, so I'll have to
I'm gonna
watch it
leave it
after.
at that. You have to just watch the videos.
It's perfect.
Did you
They're
say
incredible.
Mbiama Jones?
Yeah, Mbiamba Jones.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
There's like 3 of them, I think.
What the hell?
Just
Yeah, I think there's 3
give
right
them a
now.
watch. Give them a watch. I can't really explain it because it'll ruin it.
Yeah, like you just have to watch it.
All right, I'm here for it. Right after this, I'm gonna watch it. Is there a bunch? Is there a series of it?
I think there's 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the one Mbiamba, for those of you who want to look this up. It's IMBIAMBA.
Oh.
And then it's Jones. So it's
Oh yeah, Jones.
JOMBES. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I've started kind of getting into like the sketch comedy scene on YouTube, and you guys putting videos in the group chat definitely helps.
They're all
Yeah.
really funny too.
Gus
Yeah.
is probably top in my opinion because he doesn't do any like. The thing about Gus is he tries to like keep it funny instead of, the clickbait, like let's just do the same thing 9 times kind of stuff like some of the other ones.
Mhm.
Gus definitely tries to do new and original stuff almost every time, and if he does the series, it's still new and original every time.
Well, did either of you have anything else to say about Gus, our boy? Any more
I guess I'll
videos
say
you
my
recommend?
favorite.
Yeah, tell us
My
your
favorite series by far is just whenever Gus riffs by himself, and it's his God's Country series, and it's this whole
Those are
series. It's so good because he just has his mom behind the camera, which makes it so much better.
His mom like laughs.
video. Really?
but they leave it in, and Gus is like,
Yeah,
"Gosh,
they
darn it,
just
Mom,
leave it in.
start laughing."
It starts off with God's Country, and then it goes to Godless Country, and then God's Forsaken Country, and then God Awful Country. And it's just him yelling at his mom basically, but it's not like in a mean way. It's just like he's just like, it starts off with him going, "Oh, look at how beautiful our yard is," and then eventually by the end it's him going, "What the, I used to sit on that rock over there, how could you let it turn to shambles?" And it's just him doing just some of the funniest stuff, and he's always holding beer, so he's like just stumbling around and like doing, it's good. It's just too much.
Well, boys, I'll talk a bit about sketch comedy content creators in a little bit, but my number 4 pick is on the different spectrum of it. It's more on the tech review kind of people-ish. Colin, I'm sure you might have heard of him, but Random Frank P is my number 4.
Yeah, Random Frank P isn't too bad.
I like Random Frank P mostly because his one series where it's like a variety of it. So it's like cool tech under 30, cool tech under 50, cool tech under 100, and he'll do one every month.
Like the cool tech unders is a big one in the tech YouTuber.
No, I love it so much, and it's pretty much all affiliate links, which is fine with me. I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't give
but
a shit.
I've bought a couple of good like phone cases. The screen protector I have for my phone is how I discovered it. You'll get a pack of 2 or 3 in the case, and it's $10, and it's just super cheap. I've only ever had to buy it like another set once. I'll always buy from them for screen protectors. They're very reliable. I don't know. I just like the way that he does his tech reviews, and like him and MKBHD I like a lot, but I think Frank P's is like more simple, and I kind of just prefer it. Not like simple like lower quality, but just like, average consumer type of stuff,
I actually like Your Average Consumer the most out of all of them.
I do like Your Average Consumer. I actually forgot
I
he was
think
a
he just
channel.
has like, he has the most real stuff, and I think the biggest thing, and this is something that Zach will be happy about because this is he's made me buy a million of them, is every time he does a like what's in mine or like what's some tech under, he always includes a backpack.
Oh yeah, a lot of them are huge on backpacks.
in those backpacks, like he finds some of the coolest ones, and each one like has a completely different purpose for me at least. And I've bought like 4 or 5 because he's shown it to us.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like Tiger New now. For those of you who like backpacks, he recommended it like 5 or 6 years ago, whenever he first started, and wow, is their backpacks amazing.
Him and Unbox Therapy have shown backpacks off a good bit. Not so
Yeah.
much anymore with Louis because he's just
Yeah,
popped off
he's
so much with
huge.
just giant tech. You'll go on, there's like a new 100-inch LG TV that's like a half an inch, and he's just reviewing
Yeah.
those instead of backpacks now. But yeah, I don't know. I like the gadgets review kind of community, but you can always just find some really cool stuff. I also do really like the series that he does where he'll have his viewers submit their desk setups. It's either their gaming setups
yeah.
or whatever. Those are really cool, and you get some really good inspiration.
It's
off of
funny
those.
because there's a big meme between him, Linus, and Paul's Hardware and Jay's 2 Cents, where they all kind of like make fun of each other while they do it. So
I-
you might hear a
yeah.
few like comments, or like in the case of Jay's really good friends with Linus. So like there's a lot of times where you'll see a Linus like bottle in the background because they resubmitted the same picture to Linus because they both are doing that during COVID. So he'll always make comments and be like, so you don't actually like care about our channel. You're just trying to get Linus to shout out your picture.
I haven't watched Linus in a bit. I think I mean,
Linus
granted,
has some of the best.
before like 2 weeks ago, because he did a video where he made a computer out of his diamond play button, which was pretty sick.
Yeah.
I really like that. But before that, I haven't watched him in months, or maybe a year. It's been a while. But Random Frank P is my number 4 pick. Zach, I want to hear your number 4.
Kind of funny. We'll go with kind of funny for this one. So for those of you who do not know, kind of funny is a group of people on the YouTubes. They are now also on the Twitch. I watched them pretty much religiously from high school into early college. They had a podcast which was just like a random topic podcast, and then they had a lot of like gaming, like news information, more news, not news, but like they would go over news, but like also,
Discussion.
but it was like yeah. They expanded to do like a bunch more stuff. I will revisit their gaming news stuff every so often. But yeah, I watched them religiously. And then
Didn't,
life just kind of happened.
Didn't Rooster Teeth buy them?
Yeah.
They didn't buy them; they're partnered with them.
No, I think he bought them. I
don't
think they
think
call
they
it
did.
partnership, but I'm pretty sure he bought them just like how he bought like 4 other channels, and they just like pretend like
know.
they're partners, even though he bailed them out of like their serious debt.
They're all a part of like Let's Play pretty much now, so I think that's what it is. I think that's Rooster Teeth's brand.
Yeah.
Right? It's Let's Play. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm wearing actually one of their shirts right now, actually. The Vita Island shirt.
it's a good shirt
It is a good shirt. It's
from
comfy.
the classic.
It's a very comfy shirt, dude. I tell
is
you
a
what,
very comfy
after all these
shirt.
years, highly recommend. So yeah, shout out to them. You'll never be able to buy this shirt. I would very much doubt they would sell it still, because that was back when Colin was on
No.
there. So
Yeah, dude, they're definitely not selling that.
yeah,
That was
Okay.
many years ago.
that was a long
Yeah.
time ago. I know that was like late high school, I think, maybe early
It was
college.
senior year, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I got
It
the poster.
was the Colin left. Colin left our when we were freshmen. When we were
No, I
freshmen.
was talking
in
about the
college.
T-shirt. If that's
Oh.
what we were talking about,
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I-
got the T-shirt
I
like
don't
right
even
before it.
know.
I think. Yeah,
'Cause
Oh,
I think it
it's
was like
been a bit.
our senior years into summer.
Yeah,
Would have had to be because I remember hanging it up in my dorm room.
yeah.
So,
So
it had to
everyone
be before we left.
watching / listening to this podcast, you can tell my fashion sense is not good because I'm wearing the same shirt that I had probably around like 6 years ago at
Or
this
you're,
point.
or you're just lounging around.
All
the
right,
house.
listen, Ron. We
I
are
am
in
lounging.
college. We just got out of
Yeah, I'm in-
college. No one in our age group has not wearing the same shirt that they've had 5 years ago. Okay.
Sips water. I think I've seen that shirt for a while, huh? Is that American Eagle or Hollister?
This is an American Eagle shirt. This is actually from like friggin' middle school.
Nice.
Yeah, this is actually the first time I wore it in such a long time because it doesn't really fit me well. If you can see it kind of like drooping down.
hmm
But I didn't want to just wear like a graphic tee for work today because I had a few meetings. So
It's
wanted to wear
But-
something. I don't know, like a little nicer.
But Zach, any series on there that you mainly recommend from Kind of Funny? I know they do like 6 things at this point.
Oh God,
kinda
I
hard to
mean,
tell anymore.
if you're a PlayStation person, you could check out PS I Love You. It's not what it used to be, but I mean, it'll definitely like.
It'll
I
fill
mean,
the-
if you don't know,
fill the
then
void.
you'll be fine. You know, you'll probably get a lot of enjoyment out of it. Yeah, that and the Games Cast, which is just kind of everything. But that's really the only thing I watch from them now. They used to have like their Game Over Greggy show. I don't know what that is now. I think it's called the Kind of Funny Podcast. I don't know if it's still the same format, but that used to be really fun.
If you're an Xbox fan,
Yeah.
they do have an Xbox podcast as well.
They do also have an Xbox and I believe a Nintendo podcast. So
it
yeah.
shouldn't-
Yeah, like in the beginning, I used to watch like literally everything they put out because I mean it was just like 3 podcasts and then some random YouTube videos. But like now, like if I wanted to stay up to date with every single thing they did, like that, I don't even know if I'd have time. Genuinely, like if I committed all my time to watching them, I don't even know if I'd have time to watch all of it. So
Well, I like your number 4 pick, Zach. It's been a while since I've watched Kind of Funny. I kind of check in on them every now and then to see like what they're doing.
yeah.
Matt, I want to hear your number 3 pick.
For my number 3, I picked another sketch comedy dude, and that is Churdleys.
Oh, I forgot about
I'm not sure.
Churdleys.
Bro, I love Churdleys.
I think
So
Gus is better.
really, I think it's close.
I think
picked
Churdleys has a
Churdleys
lot
personally.
of. He just does the same thing every time. Just
I
with
hate
a
his
new
outro.
setting.
Other than that, I like his.
Really, I love his outro. I think it's hilarious.
It's just the woman saying Churdleys
The
like
Asian woman.
100 times, dude. It's so annoying. I hear it like 3 times. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna close the video. But what do you recommend? Why do you like him?
I like Churdleys is a little different from Gus. Like Gus, a lot of his videos are like him either like riffing or just doing some like weird random Midwest shit. And Churdleys he like is more of like a character actor, I guess. Like he has different set characters and then writes skits for different characters. So he has Cheb, who's like really awkward around trying to like do random stuff. Like there's a bunch of videos of him going to like raves and big parties and he's just trying to be as awkward as possible, and it's just really funny.
He's kind of like, for those of you who might know other bigger ones, is like Ed Bassmaster and the other ones, like similar to him. Like he creates a bunch of characters and does essentially what Ed Bassmaster does.
He has his Chuck character is him just being a dad, which is, I love that. Those videos are always funny. I think it's like Chet is just, he's like a
I think
skateboarder
Chet,
dude, and
yeah.
they
Chet.
he pulls like random people into his videos, and they just like stand around in outlandish like skate clothes and just riff for like 20 minutes. It's kind of hard to explain because these jokes aren't explainable. They're more like you have to like watch them and like be immersed in like
Yeah.
the Churdleys cinematic universe.
It's like a long punchline, pretty much that you need to watch
Yeah.
all the MCU for.
For sure. Like some of his videos are like 30 plus minutes, but I would highly recommend them. He's just really good at what he does.
I mean, he
Well-
pairs up with Trevor a lot. What's his last
Yeah,
name?
Trevor
Wallace.
Yeah,
All
he
them
pairs
guys.
up with him a lot.
Yeah, I always love when they have like those collabs together. You know, of just like, hey, it's like my feature guest, like Trevor Wallace. And you like, honestly, anytime I see a video from either like Churdleys or Slappers Only and Trevor Wallace is in it, I know it's gonna be funny because Trevor
Oh,
always has
yeah.
the good lines. It's great.
His like fuckboy videos are always funny when they're trying to pick up girls.
Those ones are funny. It was him and Trevor, I think, just recently posted one again, I think.
Yeah, and they had the one girl in it that she's really funny too. I started watching her because she was in a Churdleys video where the premise is that Churdleys is like a dad who makes a shitload of money and his wife's like an alcoholic who cheats on him, and then they have Ryan also
Yeah.
is like the kid who just gives the mom all sorts of shit,
Mm-hmm.
and it was hilarious. So I started watching her. It's like Amanda McCants, I think is her name.
Is that the
She's
blonde
actually
girl?
She's not blonde. She's a brunette. She's like
I don't remember
actually
what her name is.
like I watch her videos and they were like surprisingly pretty funny.
Well, Matt's good number 3 into the sketch comedy cinematic universe hole that we have on YouTube. Colin, I want to hear what your number 3 is.
So my number 3 is the Linus Media Group. Doesn't necessarily need to be Linus Tech Tips.
They have another channel, don't they? Or a couple channels?
They have channel Super Fun.
Mm-hmm.
They have Tech Linked. They have Tech Quickie. They have Short Circuit.
I think there's like one or
They
two
do
more.
they
have a
do
whole
Carpool
bunch.
Critics, which is like them reviewing, or well, it's not really them. It's oh, what's his name? It's one of the producer, right? He's a producer, or is he a writer? I forget which one he is, but he does like movie reviews. And it's like a podcast. Then he has LMG Clips, which is just like all of the Linus Media Group just like clipped together for like the best moments. And then they started a new one recently, which was Mac Address, which I don't think is going to take off because it's, I don't know.
Is it like Apple?
It's Apple oriented, but it's, I mean,
it's Linus with Max. You know, he doesn't.
well, it's not
hasn't
even
really done
Linus. It's
too
just
much.
like some guy that I've never seen before, and I don't even know if it's his. It might just be like a friend of his that he's just trying to help promote. But
Got it. But what about Linus Media Group? Do you like?
so like if you want to watch Channel Super Fun is kind of like Dude Perfect but nerds. So like they screw up on everything, and it's hilarious watching them fail. You got Linus Tech Tips, which it's kind of like
Need
that.
you say more?
Yeah, it's kind of like the all around, like, while it might not necessarily be tech tips all the time, there's also things like he just talks about what's going on, and it's a lot more gamer oriented for the tech. So you're not going to get things that are like, how do I fix my mouse pad? Like, that's not really what it is. The point of it is like, what's the stuff that you should buy, what's the stuff that you shouldn't buy. You know,
That's definitely how it
kind
started.
what
and
kind
then,
of software,
just
what kind of
evolved.
hardware, how do you like, what do you do with 3D printing? A lot of reviews on all kinds of tech.
The
He's probably
cheapest
like one of
gaming
the,
PC you can buy. Like, can it run
yeah,
Crysis 3? You know.
like he's probably one of the realest tech reviewers out there, which is what I like. That's why a lot of people have already banned him, because he just says what he wants to say, and they won't let him review his tech anymore, because he doesn't bow down to them. And I think another thing is when he's wrong, he issues his apologies, and he like specifically states like where he's wrong and make sure that people understand that, like, hey, look, I was reporting on it, I was doing this, and after talking, like whenever the PS5 was coming out, the big SSD issue with him was he said you can buy a million SSDs that are faster than it because they claimed that they had the fastest SSD. Well, what they actually claimed that every news place so far, I don't think any news place except for him, like I shouldn't say news place, but like any news coverage of it, whether it was a quick blog or
Media outlets.
CNET, yeah, they all said that it was the fastest SSD period. And Linus was like, that's just not true. And he made this whole video about how it's not true and how you can go out on the market, buy any SSD that's better than it. And what the guy actually said, because he cut to the small, like 3-second window where he actually said it really quick, was it's best in class. And technically it is. It's pretty damn good. And he issued an apology saying, like, don't, like, because at first, like, the first video was, you're lying to us, don't lie to us, don't just like blatantly lie about it being the fastest SSD when there's SSDs that I have right now that I've bought 5 years ago that are clearly faster than yours. So then he issued his apology, and he does stuff like that. Like, he makes sure that if he gives you something that wasn't 100% correct, he releases a video immediately to fix it. But for the most part, I think he's only done 2 so far. And one of the apologies wasn't even that. It was more just like, I'm not wrong, but I was mean whenever I said it. So
sorry.
yeah, he just keeps it real. There was a recent one that I thought was ridiculous. He made a solid gold Xbox controller.
He
I
does a
think it
bunch of like
cost
weird
them
stuff like
like
that.
$11,000 to make because it's actually solid, not just plated in gold. And
Yeah.
his wife like was like, "So when are you gonna return it?" He was like, "Well, you can't really return gold that you melted down and had somebody manufacture."
You sell it, and they're not
So
gonna sell it.
no, I don't. I think that'll be
No.
just a piece that he has forever.
Yeah. But anything else to say about the Linus Tech Tip crew, media group? Anything?
I think the best thing if you want to like stay up, like if you're somebody who wants to like look in on tech news and stuff, watch Tech Linked. It's like a quick 5 to 10 minute segment, and it just quickly goes over news that's going on in the tech world. They don't go into depth. They link everything down below. It's just quick for you to like figure out what's going on and then move on. So if you're somebody who's into it, they do it real quick. If you're somebody who's not into it but looking in for it, they'll give you like the quick little like what's going on, and it'll probably help out a lot of people if you're into tech.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Colin, we're gonna move from your number 3 to my number 3, and Matt will appreciate this, and Colin, I'm sure you will. My number 3 is Trevor Wallace. Mostly because that man, I swear, has hustle. He hustles for his content. Like they have TikTok constantly putting stuff on there. YouTube, he has his skits that he does on there. His podcast also. I think there's a couple other things. I'm sure Instagram and Snapchat have different content or probably the same that he would put on TikTok or anything. But as I said to Matt, usually whenever I see him in one of like their buddies' videos, like Slappers Only or whoever, I know it's gonna be a really good video. Like for instance, the Wolf of Wall Street one that he did recently with Slappers Only. It was like what was it, like that like restaurant scene like in the beginning. They kind of just did like a parody of it.
Yeah, with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just really like his content. I think it's very consistent on quality, for the most part. I mean, at worst, I get a bitter chuckle out of it, you know. But I always look forward to his new stuff, and I think that's what I can take away from it the most, is that there's always something to look forward to whenever I get on TikTok or YouTube or anything. So that's why I have him as my number 3. But that's all I really have to say. There's not really like a series I would recommend. I would just recommend him in general.
Yeah, he just does a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
He hit like the algorithm was very friendly towards him.
Yeah,
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
a lot of steam a couple years ago.
Yeah,
But
if you were into comedy, like
it's
even if you were
definitely worth
watching like
it.
Comedy Central stuff, they'd sneak a few of his stuff in.
No, definitely.
I know like a lot of people say this, but I found him when he had probably like 10K subs. Like just some random
yeah.
video that the YouTube recommended was pushing me.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, this dude's funny. Maybe I'll sub to him. See what else he does.
I was disappointed because usually in the spring, at school we would do a comedy show, so we would just invite, try to get someone to come, just like a spring concert or anything. And when I was a part of the program board at school, there was a lot of talk about potentially getting Trevor Wallace to come to my school and have like a stand-up session. I would have loved it, but
Yeah, he tours, but I
Fortunately, it
think
didn't
those
pan
people
out.
only really make it out towards the Midwest. I don't think anyone
yeah,
really comes out to the East Coast.
yeah, I think it was
Depends
just
how much
more in
cash
like the
cash.
pre-stages, and depends on the cashy cash, as Zach said. So, but yeah, Trevor Wallace is my number 3 pick. Zach, what is yours?
So this one's kind of random. This is someone who I just like passively will see like on the various apps I use to like sedate me whenever I'm bored, be iFunny or TikTok. But Jordan the Stallion 8.
I love Jordan the Stallion, dude. Oh my god. I was actually curious if you watched him. I wanted to send you stuff from him. He's so funny.
Oh, dude, he's hilarious. Like I said, I don't actively search for these things, but whenever I'm just scrolling through my random feed and he pops up, I love whenever, like, and sometimes it's like I feel it inside of me whenever it's just like the, oh, tell me the blah 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 without telling me. I'm like, oh, this is him.
Yeah.
Oh, this is him. I
Mhm.
feel it. Yeah, I just think he's really funny. The stories he has, I don't know if they're made up or not. A lot of the stuff he says,
A lot of stuff's customer service, so I believe it.
yeah, a lot of it is, and I assume he's a college student. He's going to school. He works at a Chipotle. I don't know if he has multiple jobs, but his like rants he just goes on like it. They feel so like they don't feel
yeah.
like
I feel like he
scripted.
was hurt by it. He was hurt by these like things because he has that tone of like the like he
Yeah.
kind of just does like stuff
Yeah.
like that. Did you listen to the one about like the tortilla wrap one where the customer wanted like 8 tortilla wraps around the food and stuff? It was just like something crazy, like just
No, I
ridiculous
haven't seen that
requests,
one.
and that's all they
No.
wanted was just like the wraps. But he said we
No,
can
one of
just
my-
charge just for it.
One of my favorite ones is like something stupid a customer said to you, and he said, I was working at Chipotle's holding a pan about to go make fajitas, and a man asked me, hey, do you work here?
Yeah.
And then he zoomed into his like Chipotle shirt, and he said, yes sir, I do. And he goes, how much is a chicken burrito?
Just points up.
He just like looks up and he goes, about $7. Oh man.
Yeah,
That's
honestly,
great.
I believe it. I haven't worked like at Chipotle, like not like that much customer interaction because you just get so much when you're working. Well, I'm sure Aaron can tell us many stories. Compared to serving, but you just get so much like stupid stuff you get. It's amazing.
That's honestly part of the reason why I love him, because there's so many times where he'll say something about specifically Chipotle. I'm like, I wonder if this is what Aaron deals with.
Yeah.
Almost definitely.
Yeah, there was the one where they were at a steak and the dude was like, no, I don't believe you, go in the back and look for steak. Since like Chipotle just, you could see into the kitchen, he said he just he just took 5 like backward steps and said, yeah, we don't have any.
Yeah, dude. Meeting the ridiculous demands of some guests in restaurants or any customer service job can lead to a lot of good stories, I feel.
Yeah, but yeah, he's my whatever number we're on. Yeah.
Number 3.
Yeah, I really enjoy him. If you 3, if you
Welcome to the
need, if you need, well, because I don't have, I'm just reading off of a
No, I
list,
got
so,
you. I got you.
Yeah, if you guys are on the TikToks and you need someone solid to look at, go look at him. He's funny.
Yeah, dude. Highly recommend also. Can't agree more. But Matt, I want to hear your number 2 pick.
My number 2 is Binging with Babish.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a
So-
good one.
Basically,
I'm trying to
what
remember if I
my
know this.
YouTube viewing experience consists of is like games I'm interested in, like video games and stuff like that, comedy, and cooking shows. And Binging with Babish has the best cooking show on the platform, I think, personally. So basically, the premise of a show is he takes like some recipe from like a TV show or a movie or some form of other media, and then recreates it in his own kitchen. So he's done stuff for a lot of different shows. He's done like I think his first video was the Ron Swanson cook-off video where they made the burgers. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then I found him years ago because he did the Szechuan sauce from Rick and Morty. He tried to recreate it, and that was what blew him into the stratosphere. And he's done all sorts of different things. And it's cool because if like the recipe on the show like sucks because they only write it to be funny, he'll make the bad version first just to prove like how disgusting it is, and then he'll go over and make a good version. Like they did one for Always Sunny, and like all the stupid shit that Charlie eats because he's like a 5-year-old basically.
Yeah.
He makes it first. It's like, this is absolutely disgusting, and then makes a whole new version from scratch.
While
Milk
trying to
steak.
preserve the original.
milk
Yeah,
steak,
specifically milk steak is one of them.
the grilled Charlie. He made a rum ham. Just all this.
Rum
all
ham
this
doesn't sound like it'd be bad, to be honest with you.
Not after he redid it.
What he made was really good. Not a piece of ham soaked in rum. That's disgusting.
Yeah,
And then thrown into the ocean. They
because
still
he
ate
did
it.
he did the crayon sandwich too.
Yeah, he did do that. But I just really like watching. I feel like there's something like very calming about like watching people cook online, and his show like definitely has the highest production quality. Like he has a bunch of
Oh, yeah.
cameras and stuff set up to get different style shots.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
I
he's
can
not-
definitely go down like a 3-hour rabbit hole watching him just make random food.
He's not like the stupid like Vox or whatever it might be that just is like, we're gonna cook.
They don't try to
I
market
like-
to kids.
I like a
and
lot
then-
of those guys
you know.
too. Like I like Matty Matheson. I mentioned him earlier in passing. Like he's a fucking moron, but he goes on and really has an entertaining cooking show. Action Bronson does really cool stuff.
Do you ever watch Bon
online.
Appetit, Matt?
Asian guy.
I've seen some of them, some of that stuff.
They have really high quality videos. I have always liked what they made. I haven't watched them too much lately though,
trying to think of his name.
but their editing
He's
on there
really
is
good.
solid. I like them a lot. That's pretty much what gets me to keep watching.
There's
them.
the You Suck at Cooking guy. He does a lot of cool stuff too.
I've seen him before. Yeah, but did they have a series or anything you recommend, or is just the channel?
No, it's not
Just
really a
consider
series.
different.
It's just him. Well, he has like 2 different things where he has his main series where he takes different recipes from shows and recreates them, and then he has the like basics series where he just makes a bunch of like, it's just him going like in depth on a basic recipe, you know.
Okay.
So depending on what if you want to be entertained, watch the first one, but if you want to learn something, you can watch the basics, and then I mean
he's
either
had
way you're
Dutch
learning
Bronx on
something.
too, by the way.
Yeah, either way you're learning something, but it's much more informative, and he works at a slower pace if you're watching the basics show.
Got it.
Who's the Asian guy with First We Feast? I'm trying to think of his
Oh,
name. Maybe
Eddie Wong.
yeah, Eddie Wong. Oh,
I
my
love
God.
Eddie Wong, dude.
He's
He's
so
funny.
good. Same
He's
thing
funny.
with the guy who does the burger show, or maybe it's not
Yeah,
the burger
yeah,
show.
yeah.
It's the other one that is burgers.
I know what you're talking about. I like
He's
him
like an
too.
older gentleman.
I haven't watched First We Feast in a long time. It's been a bit.
You guys know Uncle Roger?
I can't say I'm familiar.
No,
He's a Chinese guy that got big because he kept critiquing how people made rice.
Oh no, I know
yeah,
who
I know
you're
that
talking
guy.
about. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've sent me a couple of his videos.
Love Uncle Roger.
Those are funny. Colin, what is your number 2 pick?
my number 2 pick is Donut Media. Donut Media is a car themed YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of go over like, you know, car news. They go over I think the best one that most people, this will just be my recommendation. The best one that everybody should watch is where they go through and they essentially like repair their car, they build their car, they replace parts in their car, and it's called Money Pit. They take a Miata because it's a pretty wonderful car, and they basically buy a junker and turn it into I think they're at like 270 horsepower in it right now, like some wonderful amount of horsepower. And they go through like, you know, is it worth it to buy this tier of roll cages? Like, should I buy $100 roll cage, $300 roll cage, or $1,000 roll cage? They install all of them, they test them, like they do all kinds of stuff to see what's worth it, and like when does the quality start diminishing per price. They do things like they do a history of cars. They do, let's talk about, like, instead of like talking about NASCAR, like who won, they talk about like what are the rules, what are, you know, how are companies making these insanely fast cars, what are some ways that you can work around some of the rules if you're interested. They go into Wheelhouse, which is like all kinds of people's questions about cars and stuff. They do another one where they kind of just like, I forget what it's called. Is it, I don't think it's D-List. D-List is where they like rank a bunch of cars. They had another one. There was another one called High Low, which they bought 2 350Zs, and one car was the low car, one car was the high car, and they bought the most expensive parts that they can for the high car and the least expensive parts for the low car that weren't like, you know, $20 shocks or something. They were like reasonable. And they tested it out to see, like, you know, kind of where Money Pit is, except they didn't go over how to install stuff, how to like check things, blah 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 blah. It was just let's just play around with the two best and the worst and best. That's kind of what it was. But it's a lot of fun. They started one series that I think is coming back soon. It was Car Wars, where like they got a bunch of other YouTubers like Linus Tech Tips and what's his name? Marquise Brownlee.
Oh, MKBHD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got him, and like they would like race and stuff. It's a good show. It's like a really good show, especially like you should watch their Money Pit if you're somebody who wants to know stuff about cars, but you don't really, or at least you want to know how to maintain your car. That's probably like a better way to think of it. Yeah, I don't know. It's a really enjoyable, and they're very funny. I think that's the thing is they're very real. They're very funny. They're all about our age. Like I think the guy who owns it is like 27 or something. They keep it light. They keep it real. And it's just a good show. It's also very high production for how small their company is.
I will say though, Colin, like speaking of content creators who have just like done so much when they were like younger and now they're like a couple years older than us, MKBHD did so much.
Oh my god, that dude must have spent thousands, if not millions of dollars before he hit it and like just finally made it all back.
He started when he was like what, like 14, less than that, younger, I think.
Probably.
He reposted his first video, but then he I think like 2 years ago he interviewed Elon Musk and has reviewed Teslas. Like it's crazy how much he's done. And I think his first review was just like on whatever phone he was using at the time or something. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really impressive.
Yeah, like
he got in before like tech
from...
reviewing popped off.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean he was pretty much like the first tech reviewer, and sadly he wasn't the first one to blow up.
I mean, I don't think he minds now. Dude, that man has his own production studio. But... He renders his videos in 8K just for whenever it gets to the point where that'll be a thing. Like it's crazy.
He's really good friends with Linus, so him and Linus just kind of like riff off of each other with the Red camera and like play around with new gadgets and gizmos.
Yeah, I think he showed off like how many SSDs and hard drives he actually has like full of data and backed up videos and stuff. And it's like an entire bedroom like just full of it. It's crazy. But yeah, his stuff ain't getting lost. But yeah, I don't know. I like those like up and coming like YouTubers. You kind of just grow up with them a bit.
It's and I watched Donut 4 years ago, probably whenever they were like 1 million subscribers. So I wasn't necessarily new, but I wasn't necessarily where they are now because now they're like at like 6 million or something.
Yeah. But to move on from your number 2, Colin, my number 2 starts to kind of get more on the video game side again. It is Video Game Donkey. I don't know if you guys have ever watched him. I think Colin might be the only one who might have. But dude, his videos are hilarious. I don't know. It's either his game reviews, which are surprisingly like really good if you watch his other videos. Like you would just expect just some like random video or whatever. They're called like Dunk View. I recommend those ones. But he'll just play like random games and give like really good like side commentary to it. They're only around like 8 minutes long. They're kind of like joke reviews kind of for the most part, unless they're like his actual reviews. But I don't know. I think he just posts a lot of content that's just really good, and it's always like really obscure games. Like I can't be from an 8-bit game to, Last of Us 2 or something. But I just think he makes really good content. I highly recommend him.
A handful of times.
Yeah, usually whenever he posts a video, it's trending for a good bit. But yeah, it was between Donkey and another content creator, which we'll talk about when we get to my honorables. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about him. Recommend his video reviews, but honestly, his videos are so obscure at this point, you could just watch anything. For the most part, be entertained if you're into like that, the video game realm, nerdy stuff. So Donkey is my number 2. Zach, let me hear yours.
So I'm probably gonna mispronounce this, but Mindier 97 or Mindier _97. He's the dude who just spits animal facts on TikTok. That's it. That's all he does.
I don't think I've seen him.
I'm unfamiliar.
No, you've definitely seen him. he rips through animal facts like very quickly, like about a specific animal. Or he'll be like, "Oh, if I can't get you to like possums after this video, then you can unsubscribe." And then he'll like go and tell you a bunch of facts about possums, or like just animals. You've definitely seen.
I don't think I have, man.
You for sure
being
have.
honest.
I feel like
I
it's
have not.
impossible to just passively scroll through TikTok.
I mean, I
and
don't
not
have
see 'em.
TikTok, so
Yeah, I have not downloaded
Well,
TikTok
alright.
yet.
Okay. Well,
Algorithm
wrong,
might have hit
for
me
sure.
different, man. I don't know. I just haven't seen it.
The
I don't know.
algorithm is a cruel mistress.
I feel like I
It's
for
TikTok's
sure sent
algorithm
you
is
guys
amazing,
a
though.
few.
You might have, but to be honest, I can't guarantee I've watched them.
Wow. All right.
If you
Dang.
sent, usually
Well,
if they're
it's
if
the
they're
fun,
sent to me
guys. I got
usually while I'm at
packing to
work,
do.
if they're sent to me while I'm at
feel-
work, I just won't most of the time.
I feel a little more bad for Zach, but there's like a 90% chance that he doesn't read any of the tweets I put in our group chat. Like, I know
just-
for
there's a
Zach
very
he
good
almost
chance.
he
Use
never looked at
Twitter.
them.
I just don't go.
I
on
know,
Twitter.
I know. That's
As
why
Matt
I don't
doesn't
feel
use
as bad.
iPhone.
I have started.
Yeah,
I've
but I
started
directly
watching
send them
more,
to
all your
Matthew.
tweets.
All the gems go to
That's
you.
different.
Well, I have two group. I have a group message with the people I play Magic with. They get all of them, and then you guys get all of them too.
Yeah, I've started being more attentive to the Twitter one.
IG
Yeah,
is
Twitter
occasionally,
one's
but I don't be
amazing.
on. I'm not like on IG that much.
Pretty much the hierarchy of it, if that's even the right word to use, Colin throws in the Instagram, Matt and I throw it in the Twitter, Zach throws in the iFunny group chats, and then occasionally
They're
there's
just our group
TikToks.
chats. They're not even iFunny group chats. They're just group chats.
Well, I just
I
mean like
follow,
you
like,
like
a
our
hundred
They get dumped
message
on
iMessage
iFunny.
group chat is what I mean. You just throw it in there.
There have been more TikToks in recent times.
Yeah, you're growing
I
up.
stopped
I know.
with the
sending
Zoomers, but
iFunnies.
you're still growing up.
I stopped sending iFunnies to everyone except for you and Aaron, because I know everyone else just doesn't look at them.
It's not that I don't
I
want
would
to
if
look
it
at them. It's that
was
the
not
video player
iFunny.
does not play in Safari.
Yeah. It
No,
doesn't
I
play
got
in
you.
anything.
I
got
hate it.
you.
I
I don't know
download the
why it
app
does
just so
it.
I can
It's
stop
so
dealing with
stupid.
it. Because
Yeah,
Zach
you
will
just
send me
download
Attack
the
on
app.
Titan
on my
once, and I'll
PC, I
watch
probably
those.
wouldn't be able to do it.
If it's Attack on
Yeah,
Titan,
dude, I got some
it's,
fire
it's,
Attack on
it's,
Titan
it's a
memes.
good slapper.
Why do I have to do I have to be up to date?
Yeah,
to
you
get
do.
'em?
You do.
Oh, you absolutely do.
I mean,
haven't
I'm
sent
not
you
finished
any
with
of them.
season 1.
Yeah, Zach
Yeah.
said, Ron, let me know when you're on season 4 because I have like so many fire iFunny memes to send you. I'm like, all right, and he
I'll let
flooded
you know.
my
You have
DMs.
to give me the folder when I get caught up.
The folder,
Dude.
the manila envelope.
Got you.
Yeah, the
Just
Just
manila
full of 'em.
envelope
Nice.
full of flame.
Great. Ron, did you see the most recent one I sent you?
I think so. Did you send it to me today?
No, it was like it's the Tarzan one.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. But huge sidestep. Shout out to anyone watching this. If you still use iFunny, you could be.
There's
friends with
someone. No,
Zach.
there's someone out there you can relate to this because someone supplies the group chat with fire memes, and there's someone that never looks at them. There almost has to be like a common thread between that. You know what I mean?
I think we have all worn that hat at some point, or do
For
wear
sure,
that
for
hat.
sure.
Most of the
Like-
reason I don't look at Colin's stuff is because they're from private.
They're private,
channels,
dude.
and
I
I
don't
just-
know
I
why
don't-
they're
They're
so
private.
bad
always
because
private.
the ones that are private are always the better
That
ones that I
Scooby
send
Doo
you.
fruit snacks one or something. I just
Dude,
don't. I
yeah.
never see it. Like I'm like, all right, I
I
don't
like,
feel like
there have been
following
some
this.
fire ones that I
One of
send
our
you
old
guys,
friends
like, I
used to
hope that you
always
just
send
follow
private
them.
shit.
Yeah, and that's why we never looked at it.
I don't like. Why do they private themselves? It's stupid.
I
So
don't
they
know.
don't get
I have no
banned.
clue.
Makes
Yeah,
it-
but some of the
makes it
things
harder
that
for
It's
like,
not like they. It's not like they don't know what they're posting.
but
you know
these
what I
these
mean?
private ones.
No, but people won't report them if they can't see it. Like so,
Yeah,
like
I mean,
the thought
yeah, I guess-
process
I guess
is if
you're
you want to
right.
follow them, you're with it. You're like down with their content.
But like
Yeah,
the
you
Scooby
won't
Doo,
report.
the Scooby Doo one that I send you guys, like he's not even that Like from what I remember, he just like kind of finds like the general memes and either reposts them or he has his own memes that he posts. But like there were a few that were fire, and I'm like, they're never gonna get to see these, but they're freaking awesome.
That's when
So
you
I save 'em.
screenshot a call and just send it.
Well, they're videos, so I can't really.
No,
Well,
no,
if
you
it's a
can't do
60 frame video call and if it's a 10-second video, you just send us 600 screenshots and then we quickly scroll through.
I mean, I could.
that. It's also true.
You
I
could
probably
screen
could send
record.
you a video. Yeah, I could screen record it, but then you lose all the audio.
That's like a lot of effort, though.
No, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't go through the effort to send someone that if I had to screen record. Unless it was like,
I would be
For some
like,
reason on an
wait, I
Instagram
should
story or
screen
something.
record this, and then I would get halfway through and be like, wait, I actually don't care this much.
See,
Yeah.
like I used to have like a really big meme ring with like just a bunch of people from like all around the world. Like I had like friends who were in like North Dakota and like, you know, anywhere. Like they were just sending me memes, and like I had to follow these crazy accounts. So now I have like some 100+ accounts that I follow that are just straight up memes, and that's just where I'm at.
No, you know what Zach's iFunny group chat would have been? Was Kick back in middle school.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Those were the days. That's the group chat.
Well, dude, here's the thing about like iFunny that I'm noticing is it's kind of acts as a filter for all of like the TikToks, because like I've more recently have been on TikTok as like my passive, like let's just pass time like device instead of it being iFunny, and I go through like a lot of just like alright stuff on TikTok,
Mhm.
and
Because
then
you have people waiting through the garbage for you.
yeah, and then eventually, like usually on the same day, like I'll go through like the ones I find funny, like the TikToks. I'm like, oh, that was a good TikTok. I will see on iFunny if I go on iFunny at all that day. So that's like the main thing. But like all at the same time, it's like pick a filter, like wherever you, whether it's Reddit or whatever it is. Like I feel like the best TikToks break TikTok. Like you don't need to be on TikTok to see the best TikToks that are there. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. You definitely can see him on Twitter. That's pretty
Yeah,
much where you see a
or
lot of
like
them.
yeah,
Either the best or the worst. They're either funny or someone's getting flamed.
Yeah.
right, exactly.
And to sidestep it, Matt, that Reddit video you sent us of prequel memes, that one was so funny. I forgot that video
I was
ever
dying when I
existed.
see-
Like
when I
that,
saw
the
it.
original audio. I forgot. That threw me back.
I
Matt,
haven't even
I'm
heard the
gonna
original video.
Matt,
Oh,
I'm gonna be
really?
honest
Yeah.
with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was watching it, and I was like, okay, like this, like I get it. All right, this is funny. But then, like halfway through,
Dedication.
whenever there was that pause, and he goes, "I don't have Uno," I lost my mind.
That was old Vanoss crew, right? That was the H2O and someone else.
Was
I
it? I don't
believe.
even know.
I think it
Was
was.
it? I didn't think it was Van
I
Hoss.
think that was when I stopped watching them.
Or it might be in Jehovah's Witness. I forget. He was an old YouTuber I watched. I don't know if he still makes content anymore. I forget where it was from. It's just been so long since I've seen it. Yeah, when Ahsoka just interfered in it, that's what killed me for it. They just took the quick break and they just went back for it. It was so funny. But to get off that sidebar, Zach, you just went over your number 2 pick. So Matt, we are gonna bring it back to you for your number 1 content creator. So who is it?
Coveted number 1.
Coveted number 1.
My number 1, much like my number 5, is one that you guys definitely do not know about, and it is Alpha Investments. So what he does is it's just this one guy. His name's like Rudy, and he sets up a camera on like a tripod, stands in front of it, and like riffs about like magic. Like he's a magic content creator, but he riffs more about like the financial side of magic, like what cards are worth, what's spiking, what's going down, X, Y, and Z, and he does like box opening videos. And watching him open boxes, like he's definitely mastered the art of box openings. In a sense, like I'm gonna get to another example of that more in like my honorable mentions, but he always like fills the, I guess the space is like the way to say it. He fills it with interesting things to talk about, and he's a really like fun personality. Like he'll get on and just riff and just be entertaining for 20 minutes, but he also isn't afraid to like tell you how it is and drop some pretty solid life advice on you. And like his background is in the stock market. Like he used to be a big broker guy, but he didn't
Oh, I
like that
remember
job
this guy.
anymore. Yeah, do
Oh, I
you?
remember this
I don't know
guy.
if you've seen
Yeah.
some of the videos. Yeah, he has like he calls them like whiteboard videos where he
Mhm.
goes super in depth on like actual like like good financial advice, not like these like scam artists who like will sell you advice. Like
Yeah.
he genuinely cares and wants you to get ahead and stuff like that. And I just really, it's just like really wholesome content that I find really interesting and enjoyable for
Yeah, I used to watch him a
what
while
I want
ago.
to do. I watch he like basically daily uploads, and I watch basically every video. He's the dude where like I come home from work and I like make dinner. Either like I make dinner or my parents have dinner made, but they ate earlier in the day. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna load up YouTube. I'm gonna put this video on, and I'm gonna watch it when I eat. Like that's sort of my thing.
Is he upload daily?
Basically daily.
Okay.
But the problem is that like it's very hard to find interest in his videos if you're not like involved in that sphere.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it is like based on the premise of like I'm buying collections because I want to flip and make money, or I want to buy sealed boxes because I want to hold on to them for 5 years and make X amount of dollars. Or even like I have expensive cards, I want to know what's happening. Or even like I just want to watch fun box openings because his box openings are very fun to watch.
I think we've all been in a phase of some YouTuber at some point that does box openings and unboxing videos of some sort.
Yeah, I used to watch more of like
Not sadly.
that unbox therapy dude, but
Mhm.
I don't know. His stuff's like too like it's like too produced.
I don't watch
Yeah,
him
I
too
mean,
much
it's
now.
to get the most
yeah.
amount of views.
Yeah, it's like I'd rather watch
popped
someone
off
not like made in a
years ago.
factory.
Yeah. His place is like legitimately in a warehouse too that he just does it. It's crazy. Yeah. But
Yeah,
anything
and
else to say about your number
he
one?
gets paid to open all that other stuff. So
Mhm.
I feel like it's not as maybe genuine sometimes.
No, definitely. He has like a podcast. I don't watch it too much anymore. Like I said, I pretty much stick to like Rand Frank Pierre, MKBHD. So MKBHD is very like genuine, wholesome, I feel, with his content.
Yeah,
Like this
I mean, at least he like, if there's something wrong with it, he at least says there's something wrong. Like, you know,
Yeah.
he always his biggest thing is, and how I feel like most people are, is why do all the phones look the same?
Mhm. But Matt, anything else to say?
I think that about does it. Watch him if you're interested, but chances are you're probably not. So
Yeah.
If you're in the universe, then for the very
There's a limited
feel like he's-
microscopic amount of people
well, he's
watching this, that
weird
might
because
be.
like he's sort of an anomaly in the community because so basically what happened was like he started popping off, right? And there's a lot of like taboo around card prices because of like a bunch of shit I won't get into right now. But he got like a lot of like negative press on like Reddit and like all those other like blogs and stuff like that. But he was also like one of the most subbed, if not, he's definitely like a top 5 most subbed Magic channel.
Mhm.
Which if that speaks to his quality of content, where people actively hate him and he like won't post his videos anywhere and stuff like that, but he's also like gets a lot of subs, then check him out.
Yeah, exactly.
Subs and dubs.
Subs
And dubs. I think he just broke 300K, which is a
Oh,
lot
nice.
for Magic.
For a niche community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Magic's very niche.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically the entire community.
Yeah. Colin, what is your number one pick?
My number one pick is GMM, and for those of you who don't
Good
know, that's
Mythical
Good Mythical Morning? I love Good Mythical Morning, bro.
I've been
I haven't watched them in a
watching.
while.
So me and my cousin Gabriel, way back in the day, I don't even remember how long ago it was, but it was back whenever they did, even like probably before they did Good Mythical Chia Lincoln. It's whenever they were doing all of their like they were producing ads for people in their hometown, and we would send each other the ads that they would make back and forth, and then we saw that they made a podcast called Good Morning Chia Lincoln. So we started watching that, and eventually it's evolved into what it is today, and it's such a wonderful show. Like, honestly, they upload every day, like 40 minutes worth of stuff every single day. And it's not just them sitting there talking, it's like a genuine production of just things happening. I don't think I like their new content as much as I like their old content. I think I like their content, their new content, for a different reason. Their old content was very much them with some writers, where now it feels like the writers have kind of taken over and they're just kind of the faces at this point. Because before it was a lot of Rhett and Link bouncing off of each other doing dumb stuff, where now like they're kind of sticking to a very settled formula, I would say, at this point, where it's pretty much, what can I buy on Amazon? What's the difference between these priced foods? Let's do this they call it the other dimension food, where like they'll do like instead of wheat thins, they'll do wheat thick, which is like this giant thing of wheat thins. Like it's a imagine a wheat thin the size of the box. That's essentially what it was.
A wheat thick.
And like they try to, yeah, and they try to like make a bunch of random food from like a different universe as they try to make it. They do some funny things, like, you know, there was one episode where they turned Link into a giant chocolate fountain. And other like it's kind of like if you took Dude Perfect and just got rid of the whole sports idea and just turned it into like, because I know Dude Perfect is a big one for a lot of people because they're on like a lot of clips. They're probably bigger than Dude Perfect, honestly, but you know, they just do so much random stuff and they upload daily, which is awesome. Except for weekends, which they swap over to their podcast on Sunday, and Good Mythical Kitchen will upload on Saturdays. They hired a professional chef. Well, they hired 3 at this point. It started off with 2, and he had like his own little show and on Good Mythical Morning, and now they turned it to Good Mythical Kitchen, or I think it's just Mythical Kitchen. But they do things on Mythical Kitchen that is like, let's make a, I think their most recent one was like, let's make a today was let's make a $239 Taco Bell Doritos Locos Tacos.
I feel like I
so
saw
they
that.
use
Or
the
at least
most
heard of it.
premium of premium ingredients, and then they compare it to see if they can make it like so significantly better. Or they go over recipes on how to make like some of the crazy stuff they make on the show, or just like basic baking recipes or basic cooking recipes. And it's really good because Josh, I think, is a really good personality. I think Josh matches Rhett and Link very well, which is I think why they gave him a show, because his 2 co-stars, I don't want to be mean, but they're not really there. They're kind of there to be serious, where he's there to be like Rhett and Link. So I think he figured it out, and that's why he got his own show from them. What else? They got Ear Biscuits, which is their podcast. It's not the best podcast because I don't know. It's kind of just, you have to be interested in them because it's just kind of them talking about their lives. So you kind of have to be a Rhett and Link fan to be a fan of them. You're not just gonna like, you're not gonna watch it and be like, oh, good, now I know things about Christmas trees or something. I don't know, but it's a really, really good show. I probably watched them back whenever they barely had 10,000 views, which is
They've been around
funny
for
to
a
think
while.
about. They've been around for like several years at this point.
Yeah.
Like it's been a long, I don't like, that's the thing, is I don't remember how long it's been. I just remember like middle school or something like that. Me and Gabriel were sending these like ads back and forth. And it was, for those of you who've probably seen them, if everybody remembers the Chuck Testa meme where he did the
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
that's them. Yeah. What do you call that whenever you
I don't know. What do you call it?
whenever you like stuff animals?
Taxidermy.
Thank you.
Build-A-Bear.
He's a taxidermist. And they made like that, what memes used to be, which was YouTube randomness, and they made an ad for him, and it was one of the funniest ads, and that's whenever they like completely blew up. Well, I shouldn't say completely blew up. For that time period they blew up, but 40,000 views or something.
Which is a lot.
But
back then.
yeah, but now I think they're at like something like almost like 20 million subscribers. Like they're one of the biggest YouTube channels, especially for somebody who uploads daily.
They have their Red Show too, don't they?
Yeah, their Red Show is phenomenal. I love it. Season 1 I think was better than season 2. Season 2 took a weird turn, but yeah, it's a fantastic channel. They also have Good Mythical More, which is a more relaxed thing that they do immediately following the show. They just keep recording and post it on Good Mythical More, where they kind of just BS about what happened that day or whatever, or like I think Good Mythical More is now what Good Mythical Morning used to be, because now it's just those two riffing off of each other.
We'll call on any final words about Good Mythical Morning.
Watch it. I guess it's a really good show. They keep it for the most part family friendly, so you could watch it with your family if if you're worried about something
If you're about
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would let like an 8-year-old watch it. So
Well, boys, to move on to my number one pick, I know everyone in here already knows what it is, but it is the subathon man himself, Ludwig, mostly on Twitch, I guess, and YouTube also. I think it was like just starting to kind of pop off when I watched him, but the YouTube algorithm during the beginning of the pandemic pretty much brought me to him. It was like right when I was coming off of like watching Misfits and all that too. So I needed someone new to watch. But if you're unfamiliar, he is now the most subscribed person on Twitch, beating Ninja's record, I think by like 20K or something like that. But he posts daily to YouTube. I want to say about like a year and a half at this point. He's posted every day to YouTube, which has been very nice for me, just because if I've been bored, I've always have like a YouTube video to watch before I go to sleep if I'm not watching something like on Netflix or HBO Max or anything. I'm more of like a YouTube frog. I don't really go on Twitch too much unless it was during the subathon. Was a lot of times that I would just kind of have him playing in the background while I was like playing video games or something if you guys weren't on. So it's very
First off,
entertaining.
YouTube frog. Is that what you just said?
Yes. That's like that's basically what he calls like his YouTube viewers and stuff.
Oh, okay. I got
Yeah.
you.
Because there's like Pepe frogs for like Twitch and stuff. You have those people.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just really good quality content. I think I watched him. I think he had around like 100 or 200K. I think at the point of me watching him, but he did a couple cool content videos like Twitch Jeopardy and stuff. So he would get like a lot of big Twitch streamers together, and they would just play Jeopardy together, like with video game knowledge and just other stuff, Twitch emotes and all that. But he is a variety streamer, which is nice because there's a lot of cool videos that he'll do every now and then. I mean, sometimes I won't watch. Like, I think he did a stream once for NordVPN, and it was a sponsored video or a stream, but he like reviewed a whole bunch of anime intros and just anime shows in general. I didn't watch it because I wasn't a big weeb at the time until I watched Attack on Titan, of course. But
oh, now you're a weeb.
yeah, now I am. Watching Death Note,
Yeah,
loving it. By
yeah,
the
you're
way,
a weeb.
I think I have like 8 episodes left. I think I'm close to
Oh,
finishing.
heating up.
Oh, it's been heating up, boy.
Nothing but heat.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it ends. Zach, side note, I didn't know that show came out in 2006.
Oh yeah, dude. It's
You honestly,
old.
you could have
that
convinced
show
me
is
it came out a few
very
years
old.
ago. Yeah,
Nah, dummy old.
yeah, I had no idea.
It's the Japanimation, bro. It holds up.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah,
all
I'm
those
sure
old movies that like you've seen clips of, like Akira and like Spirited Away, like those movies are ancient, and like the grand scheme of
Oh well, dude. All the
entertainment,
yeah, dude. All of the Studio
Big fuck.
Ghibli stuff is like
it's amazing.
crazy.
Speaking of that, did you? I mean, Matt, Zach, you might know him. Brandon Wise has started doing anime now.
Yeah,
Really?
I know.
Oh, that's fun.
I used
Yeah,
to throw with him.
yeah. He used to. He's just started a new Instagram for his anime stuff that he's doing. So I
That's
followed it.
Interesting.
you don't have to link me it. That's
Yeah.
really cool. I haven't talked to him in a long time.
Oh, I haven't talked to him since probably like 5th grade.
Yeah,
I haven't talked to him since he graduated.
yeah, dude, that's been a
It's
while.
been a minute.
But yeah, I don't know. I just like the variety stream stuff. He plays just like a couple of his close friends. Whenever he plays like Super Monkey Ball, I love it just because that's what I used to play a lot when I was younger. Either Pokemon videos or anything too. There's a lot of cool stuff that he does. So I appreciate it. And it's kind of fun to just watch different stuff every time like you get on a YouTube video or a stream or anything. So that's why he's been number one. And Zach, you're gonna end it off with your number one pick.
So
guess
my
I'm
number
confused.
one, my number one is Joe Rogan. He's I mean, he
He's
just
Joe Rogan.
was the first one to. Yeah, he's Joe Rogan. I don't know what else to say. If you're listening to this and you don't know him, I'm shocked. Yeah, he just has so many interesting people on his podcast with so many interesting ideas and things to say. I like the diversity in like the people he has on. So like you can get like a neuroscientist one week and then the next week he's like smoking weed with like some rapper or something like
Elon
that.
Musk.
So or Elon Musk, yeah, dropping Tesla stock.
Hey, shot up after. Who cares?
Yeah, it's honestly one of a really great interview shows. He I would say he's a very very good interviewer as far as drawing out conversation or not drawing out conversations, but pulling things out of people.
He's mastered the
Yeah.
art of interviews for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, conversational interviews, I would say.
I would have loved to have seen it if he would have been able to pull off the presidential debate, because there was some like talk about him potentially being able to do. I know Trump was
Yeah.
down for it. I would have loved it if there was
That's
like
probably a bunch of malarkey.
probably, but I don't know. There's no way Biden's team would have allowed.
I mean,
him to
I
do
love
so,
Joe, but
it would have
I
been
don't.
awesome.
No one can control Trump, dude. Like that man was just gonna do whatever he wanted, anyways. It
I
didn't
mean, yeah,
matter.
but it'd be
It didn't
funnier
matter
with
if
Joe
it was
Rogan
there.
being the moderator. You know, be like,
It
just
would-
Jamie,
it'd
pull that
definitely
up,
be
pull
fun.
it
I
up
think-
right now.
I think it'd be really cool.
check it.
I don't think they'd ever
Dude, Jamie
like
had
make
everything
it like,
ready.
an official thing
Yeah.
like that, but
I think it'd be
I
more like
could-
the Kanye interview because we interviewed Kanye. He just basically let
Dude.
Kanye riff for 3 hours.
Yeah,
like
it was
Joe
just
probably
3
said
hours
like
of
20
Kanye.
words.
Kanye
max.
interviewed Joe Rogan. It was crazy.
He didn't even interview him. He
Just
just
gave him a platform.
talked about.
I have to say, I
bullshit.
felt really bad
Just talk
whenever
about
he
bullshit.
interviewed what's his name? Like, I forget what his first name is, but Chong.
Kim Chong, like Kimmy Chong.
No, Chong from Cheech and Chong.
Oh, I know who you're talking
Because
about. Yeah,
that
yeah.
guy, he was probably he had to been on like 5 different types of drugs because he was so like he was everywhere.
He was
He had
all
no
over
clue
the
what was going
place.
on,
Yeah,
and you could tell Joe
you
was
could
just
tell.
getting pissed off.
Yeah. But Zach, anything else to say about Joe Rogan? If people already don't know who Joe Rogan is.
yeah, no, I mean, there's something for you for sure.
Yeah.
Just gotta scroll through hundreds of episodes to find it.
Just read the description, honestly. It's like within the first like
Yeah.
6 words, it's gonna say probably their title or what they're there for.
Yeah,
know, so- There's always some cool stuff you can find. I loved his the Elon Musk one he did recently. I listened to that one. It was
Yeah,
really
I always
good.
get excited when I
Yeah.
know who the guest is.
all of his
I like
Neil
it whenever I
deGrasse
don't
Tyson
know who it
stuff
is.
is amazing.
He had,
Yeah,
who did he
I
have
always
on
like
recently?
those better.
A couple weeks ago, he had on Action Bronson, who's like a rapper / chef, and Maddie Matheson. I've mentioned before, but those interviews are fantastic.
Because like he
Yeah.
had on, I forget what her name was, but this was a few years ago. He had on that girl who used to be a lawyer, and then stopped and just became a deep sea diver. And I followed her ever since then. And she gets like all kinds of these like beautiful pictures of fish, and like she goes on these crazy fishing excursions and stuff. And she's making all kinds of money doing it. And like I like those because it introduces me to something that I'm interested in, and I get to see somebody new do it.
Yeah.
I
Right.
will sometimes, because when I'm at work, I listen to podcasts, and I like Joe specifically because his podcasts are longer.
Mhm.
Oh, I love
Mhm.
the
So
long
it goes the flow of
podcasts.
my day.
That's like my favorite thing. I always watch podcasts that are at least like 2 hours.
But Zach, I don't know. I already asked you, but anything else you want to say about Joe Rogan?
No, man, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
You really
guys.
feel that way?
I've been sitting in this chair for the past 12 hours, so
You're good.
it's starting
feel
to hit
that.
me.
You're good. Well, boys, we are at the part of the show where we're going to go over our honorable mentions. I have 3 ready. Nothing really too much detail. I'm not sure about you guys, but
I have
Matt,
3 as well.
you are going to start it off. Matt, tell us your honorables.
My first honorable mention was Bill Burr, specifically as the host of my new
Monday.
favorite podcast, the Monday Morning Podcast.
Monday
So
mornings.
good.
Sometimes it's the Thursday afternoon Monday Morning Podcast,
Mhm.
depending on when you're listening. But Bill has mastered the art of talking to himself for just over an hour, and it's just hilarious.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say. If you like Bill Burr, you'll be entertained. Even if you just want to listen to like someone talk about their day, and just be entertained, you'll really like it. Because he talks about like sports and what's going on in his life. And like I don't even like sports usually, like I don't know anything, but even listening to him to like talk about sports and plug ads is just entertaining. Just the way he's able to pull it off. And
Oh,
he has the one segment at the end where he answers people's questions.
I love.
I
that
could
so
listen to
much.
Bill answer emails for 7 hours plus. Like he's just
Easily.
incredible. He's mastered the art of riffing in an empty room and recording it.
Matt,
I really
there's
don't
a
know what else to
there's a
say.
compilation video on YouTube I think you'll appreciate. It's all of like the sponsors Bill Burr had that dropped him after he did ad reads.
After his ad read.
So funny. He's like, what the hell is this? Like, it's like they know who they're giving this ad read to, right? All right, whatever, screw it. I'm just.
It's
this
either they
goes
do
off.
or their social media team like sees his subscriber count and just emails him randomly.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
fuck it, I'll
so
do it.
fun.
Who cares?
There was one I think that went back to him after they canceled. I think it was like some like I forget what the company was, but he riffed on him so hard, and then they dropped him. But their sales skyrocketed. I think like 200%. And they said, "Yes, can we have you back, please? Say whatever you want. We don't care."
I believe it.
It was crazy.
And I
what
like
about
how
other-
all of the people's emails, they always sign it, go fuck yourself,
Yeah.
which is perfect for the angry Bostonian.
I just
Bill
like
is.
how that entire little group there, they just have like
Yeah,
a
what-
million podcasts with each of them, instead of just everybody coming together and having one solid pod. Like that soon they're gonna have like the mega podcast. It's just gonna be Joe Rogan, Ari, Bill Burr,
Bert Kreischer.
Bert.
Bert
It's gonna
and
be
Tom.
It's gonna be Tom. You're gonna have Theo Vaughn. You're gonna have I forget his name right now, but it's the guy.
I
who
have to
does
listen to Bert
King
and Tom's
Sting
show.
with
I
him.
haven't
I
I
forget
haven't
it.
checked them out yet, but I want to.
Chris D'Elia.
Yeah, just all of them. All of them
Dalia.
are just gonna have their own like MCU universe of just podcasts. Their
Yeah,
multiverse.
I mean, if they do a mega one like that, that's where they're at.
But Matt, what are your other honorables?
My second pick was Trevor
Nice.
Trevor
Good
Wallace.
pick.
He was
Quality.
He's my third favorite sketch guy, but he still holds a special place in my heart. He always makes me laugh. And my last one is a guy named Andrea Mengucci. He's a Magic player, and he's Italian, so he lives out in Italy, obviously. And he does like he'll just make videos of himself just like playing whatever. He's a pro player, so he's won like a bunch of money, and he's on Twitch, but I don't watch him because of the time difference.
Mhm.
Whenever he goes live over in Italy, it's like 3 a.m. our time,
Yeah,
so it's basically impossible to catch him stream.
and you're a night owl too, so
Oh, yeah, I'm a night owl, and I will not watch him stream.
yeah.
But he gets really funny because whenever he gets mad, he just like his English is broken, but because it's a second language, but it's good enough where you could understand him. But when he gets mad, he starts like yelling in Italian. It gets really funny. But that's all I had for my honorables.
Colin, what are your honorables?
So I have a few that I'm just gonna shout out, but my first one is definitely like my number 6 here. He's only been on the scene for a year, but this guy, holy crap, is he funny? He just does quick little things on Instagram. His name's Boston Be a Man. If you guys have heard of him, it's this like.
Was he the guy?
probably-
Wait, is he the guy who like makes like it'll be like
Like
why
he
why
uploaded
cry
one
in the
today.
shower when you
Yeah.
can just get drunk on alcohol? Be a man.
Yeah, like he did one today, which was whenever you go to a public bathroom, shit with the door open, be a man, and like that's just all it is. It's just a bunch of him riffing, and it's just so funny because it's just like what I'm assuming what it is about a year ago, this guy's like a construction worker, and all of his younger like work what do you call that?
Colleagues?
Acquaintances, his acquaintances at work were just listening to this like 55-year-old man just say like dumb shit to them, and then they just laugh, and then they're like, I'm just gonna record him from now on. And that's what they started doing, is every time he said dumb stuff, they started recording him. And then it turned into what it is now, which is now they just have him like riff all the time and come up with just random things to say. And it's just so, it's the way that he says it that I think makes it more funny, because he's so dry. He's like Mr. Silanoff.
Oh gosh.
He's like Mr. Silanoff with how dry he is, which just makes it so much better. Every now and then, like, there's some good ones where he cracks up, but for the most part, like, he's so dry about it, and it's so good. And then my favorite thing on YouTube whenever it comes to gaming is guides that don't have all the bullshit. And 360 Game TV is the guides that don't have bullshit. They don't do the whole, all right, guys, here's what blah 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 blah. They just, there's no commentary. They make sure that everything is able to be followed. They have all kinds, like, everything. If you watch their guide, you should be able to do it the first try. And there's no commentary, there's no bullshit. It's perfect, and I like it. I want to shout out Penguin Zero, but the old Penguin Zero. His new stuff isn't so good.
Old
I
Critical,
like
yeah.
him now.
Yeah.
Old Critical is special.
Yeah, I love Critical. Moist
and then you
Critical
got-
specifically.
Flats and CarQ, if you're into Overwatch. Flats is just, he's another no nonsense, and then CarQ goes into a lot of like in-depth stuff. Critical Role, if you're into D&D. Super Carlin Brothers is a really good one if you're into like anything Disney or like in that realm, like Harry Potter and stuff. Official Duck Studios is one that I've watched for a long time. It's definitely for, it's like a PG-13, maybe, 17 plus kind of show. Sometimes they have, a lot of the time they have shows that are probably more PG-13, but they're just funny. They do some dumb stuff. Like, I've been watching him since he probably had like 10,000 views on his videos, and then he started making Fallout videos, which like blew him up to like 200,000 subscribers, and now he's at like 2 million or something subscribers. Like, he's huge now basically for what he does. And there were a few where like he took a lawnmower into his roommate's bedroom and just started mowing his everything in his room. Yeah, like he just took a lawnmower, started up. It's like 2 a.m, and it's just like the randomness that this guy thinks of and just pumps into his videos is so funny. We got Rob Scallon, if you're into music. Rob Scallon just does like everything. He's extremely creative. He does a lot of guitar stuff because that's what he plays, but he'll do things like instruments that you've never heard of. He'll make music. He's a very talented guy. So if you're into music, watch Rob Scallon. Something that I kind of just like to appreciate sometimes is this YouTuber called Corrales. I followed him a long time ago because of Minecraft, and he has a Minecraft server that's for like architects and things. And he'll go through it kind of regularly and just make videos of like new things that came in his server. Some of these things, like, you see these things where like people make, all of Hogwarts, but meanwhile they used like all those editors and what do you call it? Voxel, I think is what they call it.
Yeah, like those tool creators.
Yeah, and it's like not that impressive. These guys, they make it as if they were playing, because there is no voxel. There is not, like, they're playing the game in creative and they're making all of these things, and it's insanely cool to see like some of the creations that people are able to do without the editors. And they make some beautiful things. Like, somebody like remade the Cathedral of Notre Dame, and like there's just like it's beautiful just to like kind of see how people are like that talented. And then one that I used to watch a lot more that I don't as much anymore is Rooster Teeth Podcast and Rooster Teeth's On the Spot. Rooster Teeth Podcast, you don't need to be a Rooster Teeth fan to watch it. I'm sure that there's probably a lot of moments that they talk about Rooster Teeth stuff, but a lot of it is just them talking about things. Like, it's just a random podcast. Like, it's just like just talking on Twitch or something. Like, it's just randomness. And then On the Spot for those of you who were fans of, or well, I guess still are, because I think it's still running, because they brought it back. What was that? Whose Line Is It Anyways? It's essentially that, but with the Rooster Teeth people. And it's pretty good. Not all of them are gems, but there's quite a few gems in there that are. I think they're on like their 15th season or something, and I watch those periodically.
Well,
I just kind of wanted to cover like all the walks of life that I have here, because I'm
no, I
subscribed
understand.
to like a few hundred people. Like just scrolling through this is insane. Oh,
all
I made a
right.
note. I said Jane as my number 5, but I didn't like say what platforms he's on. If you literally look up Jane, which is Jayne on YouTube or Twitch, he's there.
Well, Colin, to move on from your honorables, I have 3 prepared also, but not really too much to say about them because we talked a good bit. My number 3 honorable mention is Atrioc. He's a good friend of Ludwig, as they stream together sometimes, but the main reason I do like him is he has a series called Marketing Monday, or Targeting Tuesday, if he forgets to do it Monday or just can't. But he is head of global marketing at NVIDIA, and I think he's like 28 or 29 or something. Like, he's young. And I don't know, he just has like really interesting like lessons that he, I guess, like teaches like in marketing. Like he'll do one on like the best like company jingles, the worst market like buyouts of any company, like purchasing another company or anything. There's like a bunch of really cool, unique stuff on there that I do like, and it's actually informative because there's not realistically enough YouTube content I watch that's actually informative. It's more just entertainment. So it's nice to have that change of pace and kind of something to look forward to make the crappy Monday just a bit better. The second one I watch is a speedrunner of Hollow Knight whose name is Fireborn. I think he is IMO the best one of them. He does a bunch of cool challenges like with other Hollow Knight speedrunners where it'll be either him and one other person versus 3 people or 4 people, and their job is to kill him and not let him beat the game within like 90 minutes or something, just because they're all god at speedrunning the game. So their goal is kind of stop them. It's a pretty cool idea and concept. I do like those streams a good bit. And the last one I had was Slappers Only, which I talked about a bit when I talked about Trevor Wallace and when we all talked about our sketch comedy YouTube creators. I think is one of the best. It's very consistent. If there's anything I am going to recommend, it is their Wolf of Wall Street videos that they do. I think I discovered them like early pandemic because he did a video and it was like a Shark Tank but like with your girlfriend or something. Say they kind of have like a Shark Tank pitch kind of go on, but just sketch comedy. It's really good. I highly recommend it. But yeah, those are my honorable mentions, and to wrap it up, we have Zach with his.
I just have one. Aaron Mankey, he makes a podcast called Lore. It's really interesting if like
okay.
you enjoy any type of lore, like mysteries, or it's like a mix between like ghost stories, but just actual lore, like werewolves and like monsters and things like that. They're very short. They're only like 20 minutes, so they're really good.
Yeah, I was surprised you didn't have like Brian from PlayStation Trophies on your honorables or anything.
I mean, I guess
Singlish
Power
for
Picks. I don't really watch Brian very often.
Power Pick's the
But-
best. Just silent. You don't have to hear anything. You just go through, walk through, and then you're good.
Yeah.
Well, since Zach is done with his honorable mentions, that is going to wrap up this episode of Top 5. Thank you all so much for listening or watching this episode. We upload every single Sunday at noon. I've been getting better with posting at noon, so look forward to it this week. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to leave a like, rating, subscribe, and share our podcast. And we'll all see you next week. Bye, everyone.
So you guys.